we will do a share play, but it's really few and far between. I think
Yeah,
we've
in
done
fact,
shares a
the
couple
last one
times.
we did on shares was RXT,
Oh yeah,
and I'm still up 12% on that thing. I hadn't sold anything on that.
For
yeah.
what?
We're talking
Was
about
that?
the shares we've purchased, Alex. Like somebody asked if we do options here, and we're like, no, we just do shares. No, no,
Yeah, no options as far as the eye can see.
yeah, no options at all. Did you just put green around the screen? Yeah. Yes, I did. The water's green back there, so I'm good. Uh, what is Carl? Anybody ever get screwed by the CBOE from
Yeah,
Supposed
time
to
to
win
yeah.
time?
big
Dude, every
yesterday.
time I lose a options trade, it's just the CBOE screwing with me.
Yeah, man. Those freaking gosh, that's
Whoop.
CBOE.
Don't have much computer
Supposed to win.
charge.
That guy.
Yeah, better plug that thing in, Alex. Holding shares not great. Hey, well, just that's the good thing about shares. They're pretty low risk. I mean, I guess as long as you're not like gambling shares on penny stocks, um, that's the benefit of their shares. Canceled, but yeah, I have had that happen. But it wasn't the CBOE's fault. It was Weeble's fault. They closed me out an hour before on some of my SPX calls I was in. But yes, come on, John. Why'd you give me away, man? Come on. It's St. Patty's Day. I'm not wearing green apparently, although
Oh
I could never
shit!
tell.
Is it St. Patty's Day?
It.
Holy!
I see. I can't be the only one who didn't realize. I
Everybody
had
I've
no
talked to
idea.
today have yet to say, I mean, happy St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's like, oh, today's St. Patrick's Day? And I'm just like, yeah, today's St.
Yeah,
Patrick's Day.
All
I
right. Well, I'm
forgot.
pinching both of you from across the screen.
Well, you can't pinch Jeff. Apparently, he's wearing green. I can't
This is
tell.
Uh,
green. It's just dark green.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Looks
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, 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 whatever.
all right. Well,
You see Trump's love letter to NATO?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. So we definitely gonna talk about oil. I have a few discrete points I want to hit, and then we'll open it up to the longer discussion about oil, where we stand with everything, and let me go ahead. Um, Let me go ahead and look at what I had. Okay, so first off, let me pull up actually. Where's my Hey, did you trade Oklo intraday, Jeff? Did it work out?
Yes, I shorted Oklo this morning. Um, it went down to the 75% retracement, got out. Then I flipped around and bought OKLL or whatever it is, and I'm long that now.
Oh, you're long. Okay, so all right, first off, um, so I sent this out to the folks, free ride scanner folks. OKLL is my backdoor way to play nuclear today. Oklo's got let's go to Oklo.
Earnings tonight, right?
They do, yeah. So they got earnings. Oh, let me share my screen. All right. How do I share? All this newfangled technology. All right. Everybody sees this charts, pretty charts. Tonight, they have earnings. Now, earlier this morning, they announced a big deal. What was that deal? They announced U.S. Department of Energy approval for nuclear safety design agreement of Aurora Powerhouse at Idaho National Laboratory. So they've signed an other transaction agreement OTA with the DOE to initiate their Aurora reactor design and development project. They're currently deploying the reactor at INL under the DOE's reactor pilot program. So this is just the first step. SIF's also signed nuclear safety design agreement. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, deals. This stock is very beaten down. We're all the way back at July lows, July levels here. So they got earnings. We have this news. If you look on over here on my ETF list, nukes and NLR are both pumping. NLR more than nukes, but it's in both of those. So fairly bullish heading into earnings. Now, Oklo is very expensive, which is why when this showed up today, I was intrigued because this is much cheaper. So Oklo is going to cost you, I didn't even check. I know it's expensive, but maybe somewhere in the above 200. I think it's going to be above 200. And this is earnings play, so you gotta, I never say, or to me, earnings plays are always lotto plays. Don't spend too much. This is what is OKLL? OKLL is the levered, I think it's 2x long Oklo. So basically, if Oklo jumps, this will jump as well. So that's what we took. And let me see what we took actually. We took the 20 in March. So again, this is a pure earnings play, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and give that to you guys as a free trade. Even though I know we got barnacles in the chat. I know we got barnacles in the chat. Freeloaders who are not in free ride scanner, you're gonna get a free ride trade, even though you're barnacles. So don't be a barnacle. Sign up for free ride because usually we don't do this. Hi, Kay. I'm gonna go ahead and type that out. Buy to open 20 March 26, $11 call. Now, the good news is if you're not in free ride, you're actually going to get a much better fill on that because we are down 9%. So I don't know what it's trading at. 45 cents. So you should get it in at like 45 cents. All right. All right. So, and then no more freeloading after today, folks. Join free ride.
I'll agree with that.
Don't be a freeloader, be a free rider. All right. So, Sean passed on the trade. That's up to you, man. And then what else did I tease here? Cheap way to play Oklo earnings, done. The $8 biotech stock just got some big news. What is it? Does anybody know? We've been talking about playing biotech for a long time. What biotech stock could we be playing? What biotech stock is $8? OKLL, John. OKLL is it's the backdoor way to play Oklo because Oklo, I'll just check this for you guys. So you play the 20 March Oklo, yeah, 272, 279 if you're going one out of the money. If you're going at the money, it's 315. Either direction basically calls for puts. I think it's going to be bullish just because of that news. That's why we're doing a call. Plus, it was in the free ride scanner. And I don't know if we have any corroborating flows here. It's not indicative. I guess we have some puts coming in, and we also have some, but we have more calls coming in. But we won't be able to see them, it looks like, because it's underneath the EMA. So again, two different option strategies. This is for trending options going up or down. In a trend, you can use free ride for these reversals. If we look at what Oklo has done, not saying that it won't fall farther because frankly, it doesn't have any money yet. They're not making money. But we are down, wow, 70% from the highs. So what's the weekly? So you go, this is what I recommend doing. We don't always do it. It always is good though. I don't always say this, but you should always check the weekly. For instance, let's take off the wave indicator here. What is this? This is the 100 moving average. Not as good as the 200, but Oklo doesn't even have really a substantial 200 yet. So the 100 will have to do on the weekly, and we are seeing a good balance and consolidation here on Oklo. Now, we're not trading Oklo because it's expensive and it has earnings, and I'm not going to do that. We don't play that game. We're going to do the cheaper one. So instead of like $300, we can get in for 50 on OKLL, which is the daily target 2x long Oklo. They're basically trying to do, they tended to 2x the move of Oklo, levered ETF. So good bounce here, good consolidation. I think earnings, they're going to pump. So that's why we did that. Make sense to everybody? $11 call. Yep. You're not doing anything wrong, Martha. Maybe Blake can help you out.
It's
Morgan is trying. Morgan is here. He or she, Morgan, I don't know. I like that name either way though. Try not to be a barnacle. I will hit up Kelly. Okay. So you just go ahead and buy that. You just buy it. That option. It's the OKLL. Okay, so
how does it have to move to make money? Up.
yeah, it just has to move up. I mean, you could get into the math, but like you're playing an earnings play on a high beta stock. If it moves up, it'll work for us. Okay. Yeah, 272 IV. Yeah, you're right. If you're gonna play earnings, it's gonna be high IV. I don't know, guys. The expected move for OKLL is $1.09. So it's $1.09, and we're playing the 11s. So it would be over 11 is the expected move by March or by Friday. Okay, so it will work for us if it works, and if it doesn't, it's an earnings play. Okay, so that's why position size adequately. This is not a hey, I'm going all in with my whole IRA or 401k. Okay, this is just a way to play earnings that's not as expensive because they can get expensive. So yeah, no, I know, Sean. I love you. I love you, man. All right. If you guys have a hard time getting in, to give them a call. Blake, can you drop the concierge, the customer sales team number? Do you have that? 904. I should remember it by now. I say it all the time on these webinars.
It ends in
There it is.
3537.
No, not mine. Yours does.
Now, if you're needing
Oh,
support,
I
you
see
can
what you're
also
trying to do.
email.
You're trying to drive them to your sales team.
Yeah. Oh,
I
it's
get it.
3536. It's one number off.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
it changes depending on the I can't even talk now, Alex.
The
You gave me
guru.
the guru. But you can also email support@wealthpin.com.
Yeah.
That's a great resource as well. I'm in that channel, and trust me, we get your emails. Okay, we get them, and we got people ready to help and answer questions. That's how we're different, right? You give us a call, you send us an email, we're there for you. We even have live customer support from 10 to 1 Monday through Friday. Nobody else does that. So we're here for
the
you
best
guys.
customer support.
Yes.
People said they said we have the best customer support. They've never seen customer support like this. It's some people say
They've never seen it. Never seen it like this.
They've never seen it. They've never seen customer service like that. I say we have the best customer service, and
the best. China, they have no customer service.
China,
but
they have no customer service.
We have the best we've ever seen.
You all horrible impersonator.
I know, I can't do the voice. All right, so what could we be doing with biotech? I'm going to show you guys. Immunity Bio Inc. Why are we trading IBRX? All right, well, let me go here. So this is what just happened. So they have, uh, this, um, uh, they have, uh, this, uh, 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 Let me get my details right here. Okay. So IBRX has this really cool treatment for cancer stuff. And I don't know if you've been following the flows. You've seen a lot of cancer tickers on these flows. I haven't really seen a compelling thesis for, to make me want to get in, but I saw this one today and I wanted to share it with you. So Immunity Bio Inc. So what they do, they have this drug called Anktiva. It's basically creates memory T cells, right? T cells are your immune cells. They're supposed to kill the cancer cells. They hunt cancer for years, so this creates new T cells in your body that hunts cancer. It just hunts it out like a little army. Zero systemic toxicity. Okay. Um, Now there's been some regulatory hurdles overcome by IBRX, by Immunity Bio. Okay, so the NCCN, which is the like the oncology, I guess, board, they've added Activa for papillary NMIBC. So basically, that's a type of cancer. Now, by law, this forces insurers to reimburse doctors and hospitals for the drug. Okay, so basically, um, this expands their TAM, their total addressable market, by an enormous amount. Okay, now there is some interesting other structural things going on. The CEO, his name's Patrick Soon-Shiong. He owns 80% of the shares, right? So the float out there is small, like very, very small, microscopic, because it's like an $8 shit. It's an $8 company. Now, the gamble here is you have this company, you basically achieved regulatory approval. Now, what's important is that it's not just regulatory approval. Okay, it's also locked it in as standard of care, which means Medicare, private payers, right? They have to cover this. This is a standard of care for like certain types of whatever. It's like carcinoma, CIS, carcinoma, in situ. I don't know all the details about these particular details of what kinds of cancers they are, but I can tell you that what they've gotten approval for, they had a total addressable market that was basically this takes for one type of cancer for this. They got another total. They expanded it for the papillary only population, which is another giant total addressable market, increases it by 60 to 70%. $450 million at least in additional revenue. Okay. So and again, standard of care. So doctors, this becomes like basically you have this type of cancer, we need to administer it. Medicare and private providers have to cover it. Okay, so that's the thesis. Now, this is, you can see here, it's bumping up on the 50. We can buy shares, or we can play leaps. And I was thinking about playing leaps because they're actually not that expensive. So if you go to IBRX, we go to the January 27s. They're 285, 293 maybe. So I'm gonna give you the leaps, and we can also buy shares, and we can see how it goes. But if we buy shares and it goes up to all-time highs, I mean that's a 50% gain. So basically right thereabouts. So I'm gonna give you if you want to just buy shares, go ahead and then I'll give you the leaps as well. The leaps are gonna be about 293 again. So IBRX, buy to open. What's the expiration? 15 January 27. January 27, $10 call. Let's see what we get that for.
Last trade's 295.
Yeah, it's going. See if you can get 290. It's kind of vacillating there. Oh, yeah, I got 290. So maybe you can get more. Maybe you go up to 293. You should be able to get at most 295 though. That's all it should cost you.
I got 288.
Oh, nice. So you can go 288, maybe even 287. So if we're
And
selling
it
on
got filled immediately.
mine too. So you can be a little more aggressive with that fill maybe. All right. So that's the biotech play. Guy's got 290. And then the other one, keep that chart. Ooh, this is 1 week. I don't know why my scale is so off on that. Okay, so I forget. I think we did an alpha flow. We played cores, right? Um, ooh, nice. I like cores. I think it's going to work out for us nicely. Um, but BMNR is so they're in just the crypto data center space, right? So basically, they're a mining company, crypto mining company that's now being sort of repurposed to they're mainly ETH. Um, but I think that BMNR is actually switching to uh, AI. Let's double check that. What does because Meta just announced a big thing investment in BMNR, right? So news. Or was it Nebius? Which of these? I thought. Okay, let's see. BMNR. It doesn't really matter because the what we're going to talk about is the same thing, but I just want to make sure that I don't go on record saying giving you guys wrong information. Ah, sorry, it was Nebius. Sorry. All right, we're gonna play. We're playing Nebius. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here. I've been looking a lot, doing a lot of deep dives up. Nebius Group. This is the one. The BMNR didn't even do it. Okay, BMNR will probably increase though because of Bitcoin's going up and ETH as well. So though Tom Lee did buy it, I don't know. We'll see. So BMNR did what's called a convertible note offering. So I want to show you two different charts here. So Iron, I believe it was back here in February, they announced a at the market offering, which is basically they're selling shares into the open market, which dilutes the share value of the price. That's why they sold off so hard. People were like, "Well, dude," because that back then, I think that during this period, like Wolf, a lot of these data centers were starting to spike a little bit. But Iron has just been completely underperforming, and that's because they offered all these. They basically sold all these shares onto the open market. It diluted their share value, and it just wasn't a good look, right? Then companies will do this to raise money. Of course, that brings into question like why why do you need to raise money? And you not obviously something's not going right operationally on an ATM offering. Now, a convertible note is different. Um, because a convertible note offer basically says, and I wrote this all up in Telegram today, but it basically a convertible note offer is that basically the company raises the debt. Okay, they need more money to expand, to build out. So they raise the debt. And then basically they're not going to dilute, there's a strike price on that debt. Typically, the strike is 1.3, 30% higher than the current list when they offered the debt. So when they got the debt. So basically, if you're looking at 113, that's what is that? It's going to be roughly 130 some in the 130s or so. So with a convertible note, the dilution doesn't happen unless the company hits that strike. Okay, that's really important, right? Because they have a vested interest. The debtors, not the debt, I guess the debt holders, they give them that money and they do all the underwriting. And if they're smart, they do all the underwriting, and they know that this stock is likely going to hit that 1.3x multiple here. So again, 113 to 130. So senior notes are better than at the market dilutions because it's pinned to a price. Now, not only did Nebius do that, but they did it after they announced two big investments, one from NVIDIA last week and one from Meta yesterday. So whereas Iron was like offering these was selling these shares to raise capital for God knows what reason, the reason that Nebius is doing it is because they're building out these data centers for both NVIDIA and Meta. So they raise the debt to fund the data centers so they ink the deals, they raise the debt to fund the data centers with a strike above their current price, and so the debt holders will get paid, right? Eventually. So this is good for Nebius. Now, there could be some more sell-off here, but we have a price to anchor it to. It's going to be somewhere around here, around this area. So in terms of strikes, we also have a ton of volume, a ton of call volume, and I think it's pretty skewed. Yeah, so it's these puts, there are some puts, but just today, these might be holdovers from when it was trading below the EMA because it only started pumping like last week. So doing the sleuth work, Nebius has a lot of calls coming in now. And they're trading at 113. So these are out of the money. These are out of the money. These are way out of the money. These are all in the 17th. So basically from here, these are 150. Those are way out of the money for next week. Wow. Out of the money, way out of the money. But these are probably the safest ones. This is in the money. So let's go ahead and see what it is. We'll look at those 515s. Woo, it's expensive. Might do a debit spread. Let's see, is it 320, 115? Yeah, even the weeklies are expensive. So we'll go farther out and we'll do a 515 debit spread. Should be able to get it for about $200. So let's go ahead. We'll plot it out on option strat here. Bull call spread.
You can buy the 15th of May 141.50 for $1.85.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was looking at that 145 strike that you had there on the screen.
Uh-huh.
And I just did a 10 wide around it.
You said what strikes?
140, 150. May 15th.
Interesting. So we would get so versus our max profit for the 110, 115, 110. Our max profit is only 292.
But look at this one. I mean, you get up to 129, 130, you're up 75%.
Sorry, what strikes again?
Look what you go to the 140 and look down here. You go up to 124, 125, you're up 40% already, all the way for the next month. I mean, you're up 80% if we get to 135.
Right. So what's that? 113 times 1.3 is 146.
Yeah, so we're got a 140, 150. It's right there at that spot.
Yeah, I like that. So this will take this. So now the problem with this debit spread, well, I guess it won't. I mean, it just debit spreads you have to kind of hold until closer to expiration. So this is 2 months out. So, it might, even though we might be up, but it might not show this. Though it should show. I just sometimes debit spreads are wonky, right? I mean, it might just do I just imagine things, but it's like sometimes you're in the money zone, but it takes some time for the theta to kick in and give you
But
this.
right now we're the 17th of March, right?
Yeah,
And if you look at the 8th of April right there, you've almost knocked a whole month off of that. So
yeah,
you're gonna get theta decay out that far. But if they hit 140 tomorrow, we're screwed. I mean, because we won't get any decay and we'll make maybe 5%.
right.
So, but going out, if it's going to decay off half of that, you're going to make that probably 50, 60% for sure.
Yeah, okay. So you like this 140, 150, May 15th?
Yeah, and it's
Cool.
cheap. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for a 10 white spread,
Yeah, it is cheap.
I
All
mean, you can
right.
get it for $1.80 right now.
Okay. Um,
And if you're right on your analysis, because I haven't read anything about it, I think it's well worth it.
Trust me, bro.
I am. That's why.
All right, let's do that then. I'll type this out. Um, Nebius. Guys, this is free. This is a free stream, folks. I can't, you're not on my paid service. These aren't free. These aren't paid trades. You gotta manage them yourself. I try and send them out, but like sometimes I just don't. Okay, we put on a lot of trades. I have a lot of services for paid members. These are free. We give you free trades. We win the majority of our trades on this room. Okay, sometimes we lose, but you gotta focus on your positions yourself. I love you all. I'm glad you're here. I'm just saying that, so you're not disappointed. When are Nebius earnings? Good question. We can look. I don't think they're coming up. They're not until late May. Oh, 29th of April. So, I mean, again, though, if we get this pop, we'd be able to get out before earnings. And then again, earnings might be good because I mean, Nvidia and Meta, they signed two. This is a huge, these are two huge deals. And, Nvidia is, projecting that, another $7 trillion in revenue. So it's like, or demand or whatever. So, okay, let me just go back and check that I got this right. 140, 150 call, May 15th. Sell to open. Yep. Okay. Them's the orders. You're buying a debit spread. Okay. This is a net debit.
Correct.
There you go. Probably 190. All right, I got 190. So try and get in for 190. And then basically, I'll keep this chart here. I'm just going to take a little screen cap just so we know what it was when we entered, what our all because it'll change as the price changes and as the dates change. Let me just drop this in my little notes. All right. Those are my three trades for today. Um, seeing a lot of flows towards these crypto names today. Coin, MSTR, those are all ways to play rising crypto, which we're getting. ETHA as well, MSTR, stuff like that. More cores stuff coming in, folks. So again, cores sort of on that same data center AI investment jig. More Cypher, not worried about that. I know we're down a little bit on that. But we're gonna see. We got more Cypher stuff coming for this month, this Friday. And remember, we said we're gonna reevaluate Wednesday latest. So we'll reevaluate Cypher tomorrow. See what's going on. So, all right, Geof, what's up? What's up with silver? What's up with gold? You want to
Trump.
you want to share your screen?
So yeah, one other question. Did you look at that
Oh yeah, I want to talk.
Tronox company?
Oh, Trox? No, I didn't.
Yeah,
It was oh wow.
I was I mean it came up on one scanner I was playing with, and I always throw it into your free ride and everything like that. And I went out and started looking at the options. I was like, why didn't this come up on his free ride? I mean, the volume on the options on that thing picked up big time.
They did. I mean, what was the news?
I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, now I went and looked at the company, and they basically just do titanium oxide and zircon coatings and like paints and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, well, it's an infrastructure, but it's a chemical company. They actually mine the stuff and then they make the stuff.
They might
And
too.
yeah, it says they mine it. And I was just like, okay, so maybe it was just a rejection of hitting the 50-day moving average or something like that and bouncing. I mean, I couldn't figure it out, but I was just looking at the volume on that and I was just like, wow, I'm surprised it didn't show up somewhere else. But I didn't take the trade. I just thought, well, I'll let you look at it too, just to see what you could find.
Well, yeah, there are no flows. There's not even
Yeah.
any news really on
No,
X.
I don't see anything on it. And I don't know why it popped from 680 to 775. I mean, it's cheap, don't get me wrong, but we've seen those chemical, material companies and stuff like that smoking here lately. And it was just one of those that jumped out there. So,
Is it how's the option chain?
I mean, it's not bad. It's not the
Yeah,
greatest chain in the world, but
we got some 17 of April. That should be on my free rides. I don't know why it's not.
yeah. And even if I mean, you look at, just the volume today was 2,800 contracts on the $8 call.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that's got to be on the free ride. And I went right there and I couldn't find it. And I was just like,
Yeah, no,
liars, liars.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Ah, should I give a bonus? Maybe I'll make this a wave trade. We're doing IBID on wave. Maybe I'll do this too. Give a free bonus trade to
Oh, and
people.
you got a wave call popped on there.
I know. So that's like the 839 profit target. We probably just do. I mean, the $8 are just that close, man.
Yeah, it's a real tight. I mean, you got an all-time high up there at 880, so it doesn't have a whole lot of room to move.
The expected move by April though is 1.9.
Yeah, would put you up there at the high.
Yeah. 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 Is that the high right there? Nope, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh. The
Yeah,
expected move is right at the high. I like this one, man. Good buy.
exactly.
This is sick. What's volume's a little volume's it's not huge, but it's a it's a peak.
Yeah.
I should have started trading this when you hit me up. All right. Okay, yeah, let's do this one. I know, he does, man. J Bell, it's a debit. Um, okay, so Trox, buy to open, we said 17 April 26, $8 call. Yeah, Morgan. Well, Morgan, you haven't missed much. We just closed seven triple-digit winners in the last 5 minutes. Um, but other than that, you haven't missed anything on that. I'm just messing with you. You haven't missed anything. We've just been talking about this company, Geof found Trox, which is like a chloride company. I get what chloride is what I saw. I don't know if that's, but you said paint like metals.
Well, yeah, it's titanium oxide and
Titanium
zircon,
oxide, yeah. So zircon. I wonder what they use those for.
uh,
Um,
coatings and paints, I think.
okay. So let's see if we can get 75 buckaroos. I got 75. I'm gonna send this up to my wave traders too. Give a little extra bonus trade to them. Um,
I worked 70 through 75, got filled at 74. Of
nice.
course, I get beat. Mavis got me.
Dude, Mavis gets the best fills, bro. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Um,
But
all right.
yes, gold and silver. Yeah, the Middle East right now is kind of playing with things a little bit. And like I was mentioning yesterday, the U.S. trader guys keep wanting to kind of dump things, but I think that's about to end. I think right now they're getting into the little bit of the Fed jitters
Mhm.
and trying to figure out what the Fed's going to say tomorrow. I think everybody agrees they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, they're not
But
gonna. It's the no cuts
yeah, they're
or
not going to
raises.
do anything, but I think it's going to be leaning on, the press conference and kind of seeing what they say there. And then we'll see how things begin to kind of flutter around a little bit. But I think gold really, I mean, it's doing very, very well holding in here. Silver's holding, the 78 to 80 area. And I think tomorrow it'll probably kind of release things a little bit. The only question I have is, copper right now, um, with the Strait of Hormuz and everything like that, copper stuff is kind of getting jacked around. And of course, silver sometimes will move around with copper a little bit. And I think that's what kept silver from moving up I mean, and copper's trying to move down and gold's trying to move up and silver's kind of in a tug of war. But outside of that, I think gold looks like a good spot right here that it's holding in here real well. It's a good buy. It's going to
Yeah,
go up. I mean, there's no question about it. It's just kind of hanging out a little bit, which no markets go straight up. They always have to correct back and hang out a little bit before they take off again, which is what they've done. So I think they're poised to get moving once again.
yeah.
And
Look at
I have a
GLD.
weighted,
It's hiding. It's that moving averages again.
yep, exactly. So, and if everybody wants to learn, I have a way of trading it that I think will be awesome. In fact, we're going to be setting things up to rock and roll on Thursday on that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into that.
Yep.
Before we go, I know I mentioned this. We didn't have time today. Folks, there is a fairly nefarious signal showing up on the charts for SPY, so we need to talk about some hedging. We'll do that tomorrow on the weekly
Yeah.
chart for SPY. So we'll talk about how to hedge uh, and some ideas I have for hedging in case we do have a downturn on SPY. Okay, so
Ooh, I like that word hedge.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, you got to get a little bit of insurance. You don't want to
Oh
just
yeah,
go if everything, does sell off. You want to be able to at least make some money on that. So,
absolutely.
but let's get
Couldn't
into
agree more.
this gold stuff.
Let's do it. It's hot. You guys want to get it while it's hot? Gold's going to be hot here soon. Don't be left in the dust wishing you joined. And we're 60-0 right now, by the way.
Oh my Lord.
The slides aren't updated, but we're 60-0. So undefeated with
That's
Geof.
crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
correct.
I know. And, we wish we could turn back the clock, but all we can do is put this presentation on and give you guys another chance to join.
Yeah, there's literally no trade strategy I've ever seen with that kind of record. But
Well,
Awesome.
this is it. So here we go, guys. Any
rock and roll.
questions, just let me know.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so got to start out with this. Okay, so basically since December 2024, what you're going to see today, we've gotten 54 trades. Now we can't say this often, like Nate Nate said, but all 54 have returned as winning trades. This is a 100% win rate. The average return per trade has been about 16.8%, 9-day average hold time. So you start out with a 5K stake, you're getting about $844 over that period each trade. Now every trade you see today is going to be based on that 5K stake, unless otherwise stated. Now this has been obviously a really successful strategy, but you need to understand, all trading does involve the risk of loss, right? So we can't guarantee future results, can't promise against losses. Never, ever, ever, ever risk more than you can afford to lose in the markets. They're a cruel mistress. Let's make sure we're on the same page too before we start. We're going to be talking about a trading approach. This is never lost in over a year of live trading. Okay, we can't say that very often. In fact, I don't know if we've ever said that before, but we can on this one. Despite that, we would be doing because it hasn't lost, right? We're going to talk honestly about the success of that program. Now, despite that, all strategies do eventually suffer losses. So there is no entering the market without the substantial risk of loss. If you can't handle a losing trade, don't trade with real money. All right. Now, what's up, everyone? If we haven't met, my name is Alex, and it's good to see you all here. So 2 years ago, special guest Geof here, he went live with an unprecedented prediction. He declared 3 mega catalysts would force his favorite asset into a years-long supercycle. Now, immediately, 2 of those mega catalysts began to take effect. As a result, he accomplished the unthinkable over the last calendar year, achieving a perfect year trading this remarkable opportunity that he predicted before anyone else. Okay, I'm talking about 52 weeks, 52 trades, 52 wins. 52 might be Jeff's favorite number at this point.
That's right.
Each one paying out around $841, almost like clockwork, with a new payday opportunity triggering every single Thursday the markets were open. Now just take a look at his results here, okay? $3,093 in January, right? $3,428 in February, $3,118 in March, $3,519 in April, a whopping $4,341 in May, another $2,326 in June. That's only halfway through the year, right? Only halfway through the year, his members already had a shot to collect over $22,000 in extra cash, all by tapping into an obscure repeating pattern on one of the most popular assets in history. And thanks to this straightforward pattern, he gave his followers a shot to add an extra payday every single Thursday. Like in July, when he made over $4,500, right? Or the $3,525 he delivered in August. We grabbed another $3,449 in September, another $4,108 in October, and added $2,490 in November, and $2,546 in December to wrap up the perfect year. All told, we notched $43,717 in extra income in one single year without losing a single trade, okay? Think about that for just one moment. That's like adding an additional salary to your family's income. You can retire your wife, right? Or another way to look at it, over the same time frame, the trusty S&P 500 delivered a total return of just 16.4%. But my guest average trade performed even better than that, which meant his followers had a shot at a year's worth of S&P returns every single week. And you didn't need a small fortune to get started with this approach, right? As a matter of fact, 5K into each trade would have been enough to hit that $43,717 real-time result. And that gives everyday people a legitimate shot to actually get ahead in this economy. Now, I understand going a whole year without losing a single trade might sound like a fairy tale, but I assure you this is very, very real. I have personally audited the track record. I've worked with Geof week in, week out, watching him deliver results in real time to our followers. Just hear some of these amazing success stories from the top traders that have been following along with this equally amazing strategy. Sam told us $8,000 in 6 hours. Crazy. Merceline, I think I saw you on here today, Merceline. She made $10,000. So thanks for those awesome programs, Geof. Riz it up with $17,000 in profit. Douglas showed how beginner friendly this is. He took his first trade and he closed it with a profit target, right? Rox already covered the cost of the service. He paid for his 1-year membership, right? Amazing. He's a big fan. So all those stories from everyday people who heard Geof's initial warning and took action. Rich or poor, young or old, newbie trader or seasoned veteran, it simply did not matter. One iota. Everybody had a shot to collect a new $841 paycheck every time Thursday rolled around during the perfect year. But if you're sitting there thinking, dang it, I missed out and the opportunity has passed me by, well, I want you to think again. Because only 2 of the mega catalysts of the 3 my guest predicted 2 years ago have triggered. And what you've seen so far will pale in comparison to what my guest expects when the fuse is lit on catalyst number 3, which is why we've called this special time-sensitive briefing today. Because we now know the exact date that his 3rd mega catalyst will trigger. And before the end of today's briefing, we will give you that date to mark on your calendars in permanent ink. But more than that, we will also reveal the hidden glitch on one asset that made it possible to go 52 for 52 winners. How he perfectly predicted the ongoing super cycle with 2 mega catalysts, those that have already triggered. Why the 3rd catalyst could be the biggest yet. And maybe most importantly, how the year ahead could be the biggest opportunity in history for traders following this one simple plan. And now, let me introduce the man who made the perfect year possible. My dear friend, special guest here, Geof Smith. So he doesn't need an introduction, I don't think, right? I mean, everybody knows who Geof is. He's the CEO and head educator at DTI. He has been trading for 25 years, folks, a seasoned veteran. He is one of the world's leading experts on trading gold and precious metals. He has frequently been published in Stocks and Commodities magazine. He perfectly nailed the coming gold supercycle that started on December 7th, 2023. And he told his followers to go all in on silver on September 17th, 2025. I was there for that. And before it shot up 150% in 4 months. And I will say that was amazing advice because we made a boatload of money on that.
You did for a fact.
Now, if you know Geof, you can probably guess what asset we're here to talk about. It is gold. And if you want to make the most out of the opportunities available right now in gold, there is nobody, not me, not Nate, that you should listen to more than Geof. Okay, the fact he has earned the nickname the King of Commodities for a good reason. Because he has built a career off of pulling fortunes out of precious metals with truly impeccable and incredible timing. He had his first major gold buy back in 2005, right here before it shot up nearly 400%. And then he did it again in December of 2023 with his gold supercycle broadcast, which went out to thousands, tens of thousands of people online, calling for gold to go from $2,000 per ounce to north of $2,500 by the end of the year. It actually ended up doing a little better, $2,600.
Sorry, I missed that one.
Right. And then from there, he called another 1,000 leap in the price of gold to north of 3,500 in 2025. And I think we went up a little more than that before the year was over, didn't we?
Yeah.
Now, most recently, he urged investors to go all in on silver when the rate cut restarted back September 17, 2025. Within just 4 months, silver had already shot up over 150%. Now, that was the fastest run-up on SLB, on silver in history. Yeah. Now, as impressive as all those calls are, though, they're arguably nowhere near as impressive as the perfect year Geof just wrapped up here. It's amazing stuff. He trading gold each and every week, targeting around $841 with each and every trade, and hitting a winner each and every time. So Geof, so good to be here with you. I'm sure everybody at home is eager to hear from you. Tell us now, how did you achieve the perfect year? What made all of this possible?
Well, Alex, thank you very much for the warm introduction and welcome everybody. Glad everybody is here and really excited for the next year. And I'm really proud of showing folks how to make money during arguably the greatest metal run of all time so far. And it's a run that I think has plenty of gas left in the tank. And by the way, for anyone wondering out there, and that's important because this perfect year is only really possible on an asset like gold. And there's a very specific reason for that. You see, many people have tried and failed with income trading approaches before, and it's probably because they're trying to pull income from some of the most popular stocks out there in the market. And I'm talking about, the Nvidias, Googles, Apples, Microsofts, all those blue chip guys out there, right? And the problem is all of these stocks have a fatal flaw for anyone hoping to generate extra cash from trading them. They're extremely volatile. And if you think about NVIDIA as an example, I mean, the bottom can fall out of NVIDIA in an instant for a whole host of reasons, like earnings announcements or stock geopolitical news or even presidential policy shifts, and even routine speeches from their good old CEO. And it's true for all of the top stocks that are out there. So if you struggle to consistently pull cash from these top stocks, don't beat yourself up. The truth is the stock market is never going to be consistent enough to reliably deliver extra cash to investors. But there's one asset that can, one that dwarfs the total market cap of Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, and even Nvidia and Google combined. And I'm talking, of course, about the biggest and most stable asset in the entire world, the good old gold, right? And you see, gold is fundamentally different from any of those top stocks. It doesn't have volatile earnings reports and doesn't have a rock star for a CEO. And without a worldwide value nearly 8 times that of Nvidia, it's extremely hard to make gold suddenly shift direction. I mean, if you imagine lifting 20 pounds versus 160 pounds, I mean, assets aren't that different. The bigger something is, the harder it is to force it to make a sudden move. And with gold 8 times the size of the mega cap like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, all them, that's what makes gold the perfect asset to target extra cash from week after week after week. And the only asset that I think would have been capable of the perfect year. For example, look back on our trade from November 13th. Now, back then, the government shutdown was ending. Many investors probably thought it was a good time to reach into the stock market and pull out extra cash. But when the government reopened, the markets actually sank off of that news. Buried in the fine print of this good news was the update that there wouldn't be economic data, which sparked fears that a rate cut wouldn't be coming. And once again, bad news from Washington sparked a massive sell-off in stocks out of the blue. Over the following week, Nvidia sank 7.7%, and you look at Amazon, over 11%. Even the so-called trusty stable S&P dropped 4%. So if you've been trying to pull cash from any of these stocks, you've certainly been looking at a brutal 100% loser, right? But fortunately, I don't play that game. As I do week after week, I got into gold and targeted another $841 cash without worrying about the headlines at all. Sure enough, even though gold did drop a little that week, it was a relatively tiny move compared to all the others. And thanks to the special way we set up this trade, which I'll share in a little bit here, it wasn't anywhere near enough to pull our trade into jeopardy. And as a result, Trade 44 was another winner and the perfect year continued, delivering $841 payout to anyone following along. Now, to be clear, there are times where gold can move quicker than usual. I think we've seen that here recently, right?
You don't say.
However, here's the golden nugget when rare scenarios like that happen. Whenever we see a big mover in gold, it's often a sign that a big rally higher is about to start, making these drawdowns a perfect trading opportunity. Like back in 2006, gold experienced a flash crash, dropping 7.3% in just a single day. It immediately rallied 15% over the next month, climbing twice as much as it dropped. And how about more recently, at the end of 2023, at the start of the current supercycle, panic profit takers sold the rally, causing gold to dump 7% in a week. But gold recovered immediately, regaining everything it lost just as quickly. And if you zoom out, it was perfect timing for the next mega run. And gold soared over 150% since that point. By the way, my initial broadcast predicting the gold supercycle, it happened right here during this massive sell-off by gold's standards, right? And the people who called me crazy back then really missed the boat. Plus, they missed out on the perfect record we've had from this income trade. Now, my point here is not to gloat, right? It's to let you know that your timing right now is actually impeccable, because whenever gold sees some profit taking, it typically sets up for an epic run on the other side, which is exactly what we saw with our very next opportunity, good old trade number 45. Even though the tech stock slide continued that week, gold didn't care about the headlines and isn't susceptible to any of the AI bubble stuff. So it actually rallied as tech stocks crashed around it, turning our trade into $796 win in just 5 days.
So, okay, let me cut in here for a second, because what you said is really a big revelation for me and maybe for some others out there. Now that I think about it, you're right. Gold really might be the only asset capable of a perfect year. And, you just showed us two winning trades that happened back to back. Even as the hottest stocks on earth, Amazon, Nvidia, others, fell off a cliff. But with just those two trades that you showed us from back to back weeks, anyone had a shot at $1,640 in extra cash before Turkey Day rolled around, which would buy you quite a few turkeys. So had someone been twice as confident, that's $3,280 in the bank in just a few weeks. So really good Thanksgiving. And what better timing could you ask for? Seriously, imagine taking the kids out Christmas shopping, Black Friday, with an extra $3,280 pat in the wallet. Maybe even have enough left over to afford a little R&R for you and the spouse. And all thanks to this one unique setup that lets anyone target around $841 from gold week after week after week after week. But I do need to ask you one question here. If gold is so hard to move, why has it been able to more than double since you called it back in December 2023?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I like that question. A lot of people ask me that one. And when I say gold is hard to move, I really mean over a very short term. I mean, it's not uncommon for a tech stock like Nvidia or AMD or something like that to move 5% in a day. But gold, a 1% move in a day is pretty big. And that's really the secret sauce to our weekly trade. And I'll touch on why that is on that in just a moment. Let's answer your question here. The fact that gold has doubled over the course of the year, well, that's just a little extra wind in our sails. That helps us out week over week. And over the longer time horizon, it definitely can move, and that's a great thing for us. That's why back in 2023, when I stepped out of the shadows and called my shot that gold supercycle was about to start, it was because I believe three irresistible forces were about to make gold shoot higher very quickly. I called it a triple threat catalyst. And what were those three little catalysts? Well, first was the technical pattern on gold looked incredibly juicy at the time. Due to rising tensions, national banks were buying up gold like never before. And I was projecting aggressive rate cutting from the Fed would start right away, dropping rates down very, very quickly. Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back here, but we all know what's happened to gold since I made that call back in the end of 2023. It's soared from around $2,000 an ounce back then to over $5,000 an ounce as we sit here today. And that's an increase of 150%, practically unheard of for a big asset like gold. But here's what may surprise you and what has me really excited for the next few years and all of the $841 opportunities that are lining up. Well, I was clearly right about the technical pattern and right about the stockpiling. In fact, we've still above the levels right now. I was actually dead wrong about the rate cut cycle. I mean, in fact, we've originally called the gold super cycle, but that should be the best news you've heard all day long, because that means everything we've seen so far, including the perfect year that gave us, everybody a shot at $43,000 in just 12 months, could just be an appetizer for what's to come. Because without question, rate cuts are the single most powerful catalyst that drive gold higher. I mean, take a look at how it's worked in the past. In 1970, the Fed cut rates. Gold skyrocketed 369%. 75 to 77, Fed cut rates. Guess what gold did? It went even higher, 521% this time. And how about more recently? Early 2000s, dot-com bubble. They cut rates. Gold skyrocketed 536%. And we even saw the same little cycle happen before COVID. Fed slashed the rates to zero, and what gold do? They've surged from there. And if that same pattern plays out again, now that we've seen the rate cuts start in earnest, the 150% growth that we've seen so far really could be just the beginning. I mean, meaning I expect it will continue to be a perfect environment for targeting those $841 paydays from gold week after week after week, because that extra wind in our sails simply makes it a whole lot easier to hit our weekly payday. Just like we did back on April 10th. It just so happens that that day was a brutal day for the broader stock market. The Dow whipsawed 1,000 points thanks to the chaotic and unpredictable tariff news, but we're trading an asset that's practically impervious to scary headlines, the White House policy shifts, and even stock market sell-offs. So I entered the same trade I did every Thursday the markets were open during the old perfect year of 2025, trade number 14. And as gold continued the rally I predicted back in 2025, the very next week, trade 15, same story. Even though the rally stalled temporarily, our trade was never in danger of missing. And when gold quickly recovered and raced higher, the trade paid over $1,000 in just 4 days.
Wow, man, I'm almost speechless when you see those numbers because these trades, they just keep stacking up week after week after week. With just those two examples that you showed us, back-to-back trades, each paid out 5 days or less, people had a shot at over $1,800 in a couple of weeks. And before that month was through, as we showed you earlier, right, total of $3,519 in extra cash in just 1 month. And now you're telling us that this perfect year actually is just the appetizer, just the beginning, that you can actually keep winning these trades week after week for years to come.
Yeah, Alex, it's probably a good time to remind everybody, of course, no strategy is perfect forever, even though this one seems to be, right? And a perfect year is almost unheard of, and I absolutely cannot guarantee we'll see another one. Losses are just part of trading. It's going to happen eventually. And that said, to answer your question, heck yeah. I do believe the opportunity to target these weekly payouts is only just the beginning.
Okay, so I think it's time you tell us then that if that's the case, how do we, me and everyone else here, take advantage of gold? Are you, adding to a gold stockpile every week? You got a vault in your backyard. Are you buying a new call option every Thursday? What are you doing?
Well, not exactly that, Alex, but of course, I fully believe we could buy gold right now and be really happy in the next few years, right? But if that's all you do, I think you'll be leaving a ton on the table if you just do that. I mean, specifically the kind of paydays that are already delivered a shot at 43,000 in extra income to our members in just 2025 alone, and you're going to get those kind of returns with call options either. Not by any means. And that's what makes these weekly gold streams so unique. See, with a typical strategy, when we think an asset is going to go up, we place an aggressive bet, targeting a real big return. But even during this gold super cycle, no asset goes up 100% of the time. We've seen weeks, even entire months, where gold went sideways or even ended up lower. And with traditional aggressive approach, that would mean a string of 100% losses, but not with gold streams, because with gold streams, we turn the traditional formula on its head. And instead of buying aggressive options where the market has to stay red hot to pay us, we simply place a bet that the market won't take a major drop. And as long as the bottom doesn't drop out completely, we can make the $841 or more in extra cash week after week after week. So let me show you how this thing works. First of all, take a look at this beautiful chart right here. All righty. Now, this is the open on gold on December 15th, just a couple of months ago. And if you saw this, you just had this one candle to go off of, where are you going to guess the next move's going to go?
I mean,
well, you got a choice, right? So you can either choose A, B, or C here. Well, there it is. Now, my guess, most people are going to say A because, well, it's breaking out, it's getting above resistance, and off it goes. And thinking they could just ride the breakout even higher, and that makes some sense. But the problem is it's still no better than a coin flip. And when you try to guess on direction, you have to be right to get paid, right? But there's another way to play this game. So instead of trying to guess this A, B, or C thing here, you could put a line down here and make money with every outcome above that line. So instead of placing a 50-50 bet at best on one of these outcomes, A, B, or even C, it doesn't really matter. You can make money as long as gold stays above this line. Just like what happened with this example. This was trade number 46 from the perfect year. And yeah, despite the momentum, gold sold off immediately after opening the gold stream trade. Yay, everybody loves that one, right? And if we'd bought straight calls on this opportunity, thinking a move higher was coming, we'd end up with a 100% loss. But gold stayed well above our gold stream line. Now, maybe we just got lucky on that one, right? So let's look at another worst stretch for gold during our perfect year right at the end of October. We opened a trade number 41 on Thursday, October 23rd. Even though gold had just had its steepest sell-off of the year, and why not just kind of skip a week if you see something like that, right?
Right.
Well, it's because our research plus perfect year of live trading tells us by entering the same straightforward trade at the same time every Thursday, we have had incredibly high odds to target that $841 week after week after week. And this trade was no exception to that. So even though gold continued to sell off and even approached our gold stream line, we never broke a sweat because we had plenty of time to let it play out. And as it stabilized and climbed just slightly higher, we were in position to cash in on yet again, this time claiming almost $1,000 during gold's worst week. And then the very next week, Thursday rolled around again, and we set up another gold stream trade. Same 2-minute process we follow every week. And even though gold went nowhere for weeks, anyone who bought calls expecting a rebound was toast. It never approached our gold stream line. And we turned one of the sleepiest weeks of gold all year into our biggest payday for $1,173.
Nothing sleepy about that, I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
I really can't believe what you're showing us here. Not only are you making a killing on the gold super cycle that you predicted, right? But even during temporary slowdowns, during temporary pullbacks, these are challenges traders are always going to face no matter what asset they are trading. But despite all that, you're turning gold's worst weeks into some of your very best. Like those 3 examples you just showed, they all happened during gold's roughest weeks of the year back in 2025, last year. But they still turned into a shot at over $3,000 in extra cash for your members. And, with those trades happening even during the worst weeks of the year, and with the track record, which is a perfect year of weekly trade alerts, I need to ask you this. Did you crack the code, my man? Can you even lose with this strategy?
No, I wish I could say that. But thanks for the kind words anyway. But of course, this strategy is eventually going to lose. I just know it's going to. Sometime around, we're going to see a loss in there somewhere. And we're not selling no miracle pills or having a little crystal ball or anything like those. Those just don't exist in trading or ever, period. That said, if you're going to take a risk every time you enter a trade, don't you want to do it with confidence? I mean, I would. And knowing you're trading the same setup that has paid out each and every week for over a year without a single loser. And in 2025 alone, when we had a perfect year trading every Thursday, the markets were open, we did the nearly unthinkable. 52 weeks, 52 trades, 52 wins. And when all was said and done, we gave our followers the chance to collect, with no reinvesting, no compounding, $43,717, all by betting that the most stable asset won't suddenly collapse in a few weeks' time.
All right, so I see all that, and I know I am, and I think other people watching this are too. They're chomping at the bit to get in on this. Because the perfect year is almost unheard of. But I know you're already working on going back to back in the year ahead. So tell us, how soon can people get in on this and place their very first gold stream trade?
That's an easy one. We'll be entering another gold stream trade this week. All right, targeting $841 in extra cash, just like we always do, week after week after week. Now, obviously, you can't go out there and blindly pick options that are there, okay? If that were that case, everybody'd be doing it, right? The trick is simply knowing which trades to place, and fortunately, I've got you covered there. In fact, I'm going to show you what you need to know to deploy your first gold stream trade right away this week, so that anyone can start targeting $841 every Thursday, almost like clockwork, week after week after week. And it doesn't matter if you're young or old, whether you're a rookie or a veteran, whether you're saving for retirement or already in the old golden years. Everyone is welcome to get started today. See, I've already recorded a step-by-step workshop to show you exactly how you can start targeting these payouts with just a few clicks of the mouse. It includes the full details of how to place your first trade, how the gold streams work, so you can start using this technique in your account today. Each of these trades will follow the exact same setup we use every single week during the perfect year. Now, typically, I would sell a class like this for at least around $500 on its own, but not today. Today, I'm going to offer a handful of you the chance to claim it as a free bonus. Once you catch up on this class, you'll be shocked how clear-cut these weekly gold stream setups really are. You'll immediately be able to start using them week after week if you want to. After just hitting a few buttons, you could have the trade locked and loaded, and that's really all there is to it. Just like we saw back in May. Thursday, 5/29, set the gold stream trade up before the end of the day, watched it never come close to our gold stream line, and cashed in 5 days later with another big payday of $871. And remember, any brokerage account will do the trick. You can even target these gold stream payouts in a 401k or an IRA too. And if you want to to see just how powerful these gold streams are with your own eyes, in our class, I've placed one of these gold streams on camera, targeting the same $841 payout we target week after week. That way you can follow along if you like, watch over my shoulder so you can copy, paste in the next new trade in a matter of minutes. And today, the folks out there can claim access to this workshop so they can start implementing this unique strategy in their own accounts just by subscribing to my premium weekly income service, Gold Stream Alerts. Now, this is the only service that enters new gold stream trade every Thursday the markets are open, targeting $841 with each trade week after week. And it's the only strategy I know of that was able to produce a perfect year of 52 weeks, 52 trades, and 52 wins. Now, if you take one of these limited memberships today, every single Thursday the markets are open, I'll send you the exact details on that week's gold stream alert. Now, the exact setup that we've used to target an average $841 return week after week. The exact same alerts that gave my members a shot at the perfect year and $43,000 in cash in the process. Now, you're getting up to 51 of those income opportunities per year. Of course, Thanksgiving is always going to fall on a Thursday, so we don't do that one. So, and I'll be holding nothing back. In Gold Stream Alerts, I'll break it all down for you step by step. How to enter, when to place the trade, the exact options criteria. It's all in there. And if you ever need to quickly brush up on the strategy, you can check the strategy blueprint hosted in our members area. But you really don't have to do that if you don't want to, because each income alert will have crystal clear instructions on how to place each trade. I do all the heavy lifting to find each gold stream opportunity. You'll just need to read each one of those things and follow along if you choose. Just like we saw in one of our most recent examples, actually after the perfect year from January 15th. I sent members the trade alert right into their inbox, and anyone could have taken a few minutes to place the trade, then clocked out and maybe get lost in the mountains like I like to do when I go to Colorado, or even sneak out for a little date night with the loved one. And days later, another $975 sitting in the old account. And you wouldn't have to sit glued to the computer all day either. I'll post the trade each Thursday a few hours before the close. That way you have plenty of time to get in before the end of the day. And I'll make certain these alerts get right to you, wherever you are, which is why I'll send you every alert to your email and to your cell phone so you can always take advantage of it. Even if you're out and about shopping or anything like that, you could have grabbed the next week's opportunity on January 22nd. You would have gotten the email or text, taken the trade if you chose, and sure enough, days later, another $873 payday for my members.
Okay, let me cut in here right now because you really seem to go above and beyond, make this really plug and play for all of your traders. Not only are they getting every trade sent to their email and their phone, and not to mention our one-click trading platform, which is beautiful, but it only takes about 2 minutes to set up the trade. Plus, they have till the end of the day, right? So once it's set, they can go about living life however they want to. And with just those 2 trades you showed us, which happened on back-to-back weeks, again, you gave folks a shot at over $1,800 in just a couple of weeks. And if I'm right, we had the perfect year, but those were in this year too. So the perfect year is already continuing, you know? Now,
right.
if you were twice as confident, well, you'd be making over $3,600 in Snap. This really seems like one of the most straightforward opportunities to give people a shot at extra cash that I've ever seen in the stock market. I mean, the results speak for themselves. And we've already seen how well it performed during the perfect year you delivered to your members. We're not talking about compounding, scaling, or rolling, or reinvesting any profits. We're just talking about cold, hard, $43,717 in profit. So with results like that, I got to ask, what does it cost for people to join here today? I mean, look, you delivered a shot at over 43, almost 44,000 really, to your members in your first year of trades. So I've got to imagine that, you know, you could demand at least 10,000 for folks to claim another year, and it would be easily worth it.
Well, I agree. We could easily charge 10 grand, Alex, but maybe more for the Goldstream alerts. But at that price, I would be only helping the rich people out. And that's not what this is all about, right? After all, it's the hardest working people who suffer most when the cost of living goes up. So no, I won't be asking anywhere near 10 grand today, not a chance. But before we talk price, there's a couple of extra bonuses I want to share with people right now. First, I'm giving every member access to my Ultimate Gold Trading Game Plan. Now, this bonus class is going to walk you through what I think you need to know about trading and investing in my favorite asset. I mean, I'll even touch on silver and other precious metals a bit as well. I spent 25 years learning the ins and outs of trading gold at the highest level. And it's how I perfectly predicted the gold supercycle months before it kicked off, and the recent 150% move in silver as well. But of course, for the new members today, you can access this exclusive class and exhaustive blueprint for free and hopefully walk away with a complete precious metals game plan. And remember, while we'll learn some advanced strategies in this class, you don't have to be a trading mastermind. Just like with all of our Goldstream setups, all you need is just a standard brokerage account, normal internet connection, and just a couple of minutes to place the trade. And there's one more bonus I want to share with you. In addition to all the education already waiting in your members area, which I think is easily worth at least $1,995 on its own,
Yeah.
I'll be going live next Thursday to walk you through the newest trade and let you learn how to place the trade over my shoulder if you choose to do so. That way you'll have plenty of time to ask your questions about the strategy, because I know folks are pretty eager to jump into their first trade, Alex, and I want to make sure it's as easy as possible for them.
Oh yeah, I know they do, man. In fact, I know I am. We're all dying to know how to get in on the next Goldstream alert here. So it's time to tell us. I'm putting you on the spotlight. What is it going to cost people to join in today?
Getting pretty persistent at that, aren't you?
I'm
So
gonna let you get away.
that's right. Well, like you said earlier, we could easily charge 10 grand for a service that's delivered over 43,000 in real world returns last year alone. But I'm going to do some things right now to make the cost of access a no-brainer for everyone listening today. So if you go to the official order form right now, you're going to look there and it's going to pay half of your 10 grand there at that 49.95 area. But don't do that, okay? Because I'm about to slash the price even further and give you a second chance I'm confident you'll never see anywhere else. See, when I first made my big bold prediction on gold, it was priced right around 2,000 bucks an ounce. And I urged people to get in, to not miss out, because I knew gold supercycle was coming. And I was dead right. Now the price of gold's over 5,000 an ounce. Unfortunately, most people missed the boat on that, and they either never heard my urgent heads up or they failed to take action. That also means they missed out on a shot of trading the perfect year with me and therefore coughed up a shot at over $43,000 in gains in 1 year. Now, I want to give you another chance to start trading these Goldstream alerts with me. And to do so, I'm going to give you a chance to rewind the clock back and get in at the price gold was trading at before the super cycle kicked off. That's right. I'm turning the clocks back and giving you another $3,000 off if you join today. And more importantly, a chance to lock in the only undefeated program I know of in our industry today for just $19.95 for your first year. But just like the gold super cycle, if you think what you've seen so far is good, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because just to sweeten the pot, and as my way of saying thank you for joining Goldstream Alerts, I'm adding an extra year free for anyone who joins from this webinar today. I'm confident the gold supercycle is set to run through at least 2026 and 2027, and probably well beyond that. And I don't want you to miss out on a single income opportunity in that time. But now, if you join today, you'll have over 100 opportunities to target 844 bucks or more in extra cash week after week after week, starting right away this week. And I wish I could take everyone back to 2023 in a time machine. Man, I'd love to go back to 2023
Let's
in a
build
time
one.
machine. Yeah. But trading doesn't work that way. And I've flashed back the clock to make this an easy decision as possible for you to join Goldstream Alerts. So don't wait. You don't want to be sitting there 2 years from now wishing you'd taken action at this moment. So instead, go to prosperitypub.com/flashback or call the 904-706-3537 to talk to our team. David just put the link into the chat here so you can click that just as easy. Now I want you live with me placing the next Goldstream alert together. But that only happens if you take action now. Goldstream alerts, 2 years of access for $19.95. Go to prosperitypub.com/flashback or call that 904-706-3537. And folks, I've never heard of
Yeah, neither. I've never heard, like, this is amazing. Honestly, what Nate was saying before we started, having a perfect year on any trading strategy is, look, quant firms will be like good if they're doing 48% winners
Yeah.
and they're 48% winning track record, and that's like they're getting paid millions. This is amazing, dude. So, and you've already heard how prolific this strategy was in year one. And we've already had trades in this year that are doing just as well. And look, last year, no compounding, no reinvesting, rolling, scaling products, just cold hard cash of $43,717. And again, this is not, these weren't back-tested trades. These are real trades Geof shared with real people. And look at some of his top students, what they have to say about these Goldstream alerts, man. I've seen some of these in Profit Panel. Look at NM, $8,000 in 6 hours.
That's
Amazing.
crazy.
So cool. Dave, hey, he started small. It's great. Good job, because he knows he doesn't want to risk too much, but he still closed. He still got 129 bucks. That's amazing.
That's great.
And then Rock, a couple trades paid for his membership. Big fan. Holly, up $6,500. That is crazy. as well. And again, Riz is just stacking on the Riz, making $17,000 with these Gulfstream alerts. It's amazing. So with those gains, right? So a lot of those traders, they could have covered the price of their first 2 years multiple times over for the low rate that you're asking today, Geof, right?
Yep.
For the price of admission. Which reminds me, what's the price going to renew at when the 2 years are done?
Well, when 2 years rolls around, I'd imagine we'll be definitely charging the full $49.95 a year, if not even more than that, Alex. I mean, if we keep going at anywhere near this rate, that price could keep climbing. But for people who don't want to worry about that, we do have a VIP option today. On the page after the order, you'll get a shot to upgrade your membership now at a low fixed cost, so you'll never have to worry about renewal fees again. And I've even included a special bonus exclusively for my VIP members. Now, this is a very special report. I'll unveil a second income stream you can set up an entirely different ticker, including the exact plug-and-play strategy that you can use to set these trades up alongside the gold stream every single week, meaning VIP members instantly double their weekly income opportunities with this one extra report. And they'll get both that and the weekly gold stream alerts for the lifetime of the service. But this offer only stands for the charter members who claim their spot and full VIP service upgrade today. So go to that prosperitypub.com/flashback or call the 904-706-3537 if you want to talk to someone. Remember, as hot as gold has been over the last few years since I initially predicted the gold stream supercycle, I firmly believe the best is yet to come. In a few months, President Trump's hand-picked choice will take over the Fed, and he will be under immense pressure to start slashing interest rates. You've already seen how gold performs in interest rate cut cycles, but here's a quick refresher if you forgot. So 1970 Fed cut rates, gold skyrocketed 369%. 75-77 Fed cut rates, gold went even higher, 521%. And how about more recently? Here's the 2000s, Fed cut rates, gold skyrocketed 536%. And we even saw the same cycle play out before COVID. Fed slashed rates, and of course, gold surged again. And Alex, if that same pattern plays out again, now that we've seen the rate cuts start in earnest, the 150% growth we've seen so far really could be just the beginning.
Yeah, it's truly incredible, the opportunity we're looking at right now. I can't imagine anyone's going to want to sit this one out. But let me play the devil's advocate here.
Of course you are.
Put on a little horn for a second here. What if you're wrong? So
Yeah.
what if we're at the top of the super cycle and we don't see another leg up? Or what if we even move lower from here?
Well, that's a great question, but let me just put people's minds at ease just a little bit. Yes, the perfect year is incredible, but I never would have started this strategy if I thought it could only work when gold was in an out-of-control bullish run. Super cycles like this are extremely rare in gold, which is why it's important to take full advantage of it now. But that's also why I designed these gold stream alerts to work in any trading environment. In fact, when we launched this strategy initially, we did a 5-year back test to test the potential, one that covered all kinds of environments in gold. We tested 249 total trade alerts. 216 of them came back as winners for a total win rate of 85.6%. That's with no super cycle, not out of control bull run, or even some real serious drawdowns mixed in there. So while I fully believe I'm right and the ongoing gold supercycle has a lot more gas in the tank, even if I am totally dead wrong, this strategy has been demonstrated to win 8 out of every 10 trades on gold in any market condition. And that's the kind of track record that I think makes it a no-brainer to join today. Go to that prosperitypub.com/flashback or call that 904-706-3537. It's only $1,995 for 2 years.
All right, so I see the questions coming in. I love them all. We're going to answer them all. But again, you've been trading this for over a year. So sure you've got some questions, some common ones that have come in. Let's answer those common ones first, and I'll go ahead and tee you up here. Question number one is seeing this question a lot. So, folks, how much money should people need to get started?
Well, the average trade costs somewhere around $328. That's an average. Some of them are a little more, some of them are a little less. In fact, one we got into about a week ago was a whole lot less. So it's not a whole lot, but I still recommend having about 3 or 4 grand in the account. You never want to risk more than you can afford to lose. All right.
Question number two, will the strategy ever lose?
I wish not, but of course it's going to eventually, right? I mean, losses are part of trading. Past performance does not guarantee future results, but the perfect year gives me a lot of confidence with every trade entry. That's for sure.
Question number three, options access level. Which one do you need?
You'll need to have level 2 access on most platforms, which is super easy to get. I can even walk you through what to say to your broker to get permissions in one of our live trade sessions.
Question number 4 or 5. Do I need to be an options expert to get started?
Absolutely not. We've got training in the members area plus the live trades where I'll be walking everything through and show you exactly how to place each position so you can just watch over my shoulder and take note of them if you want to.
Okay, great. And next question. Can I take these trades in an IRA or a 401k?
Yep, you sure can. It's retirement account friendly. Very easy.
Right. And, I want a little extra support. How do I get that?
Call Alex. No. You can always go to customer service live. It is a great thing. If you've never been never been there, you got to go there.
Yeah,
Every Monday through Friday, Cam and Goose are in there from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're experts. They understand everything. They'll answer all your questions about your membership, about the strategy behind things, how to find just if you have questions, go there. These guys are great.
When's the next trade, man?
Ah,
Enough talk. Let's get to
yeah.
the meat.
Only our members get to know the details of that. So if you join today and enter the latest trade, if you choose, just put it out before we got in here. So it is locked and loaded and waiting for you.
So there's still time to get in today, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, yeah. So until the market closes, you have plenty of time. And again, these are not, I love trading. I love trading options. Sometimes my trades are fast moving, but this is not like that, right? I mean, you can be in a meeting, you can be on the golf course, breakfast,
oh yeah,
the grandkids. You're not at your trading terminal, but you get to it when you get to it, and you can enter and still win.
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing.
So,
all right. Well, folks, great presentation, guys. As always, you knocked it out of the park. And with this price, people are going to be knocking it out of the park. 2-year access for $19.95. So that's, less than half the price of a normal year, and you're getting 2 years. About 1,000 people have asked how much is the lifetime. So after you do the $19.95, on the next page, you'll have the opportunity to upgrade for lifetime, and it's less than another $19.95. It's $14.95 to get in the lifetime on top of that. So for still less than the normal price of a year, you'll have lifetime access to this, which means you don't have to worry about ever having to renew. You don't have to worry about what it's going to cost later down the line when you renew, because you don't have to. And it has our legacy feature, which means you can leave it to somebody else after you're gone. You can leave it to somebody in your will or give it to somebody in your family, that kind of thing. So it's a perpetual membership.
Gone, believe me.
What's that? What's that?
So we don't wish for them to be gone, though.
No, but it's nice to know that once they're gone, this membership will last somebody else's lifetime as well. Yes. So it's a gift for you and somebody else.
If this thing keeps on winning, you might be able to invest in the latest longevity technology and stick around for another couple hundred years.
That's true. You might be able. You know what? This program, I would imagine by the end of 2026, most of the people in this program are going to have Elon's direct number. Anyway, so do that. Now, a lot of people have asked about some specifics. We're not going to give away 100% of the strategy because it's for members only. But a lot of people are asking: are these basic calls? Are they spreads? Are they debit? Are they credit, etc.?
We do debit spreads in this.
All right, so, and they're vertical spreads, right? They're 2-leg spreads. They're not super fancy 4-leg spreads.
No,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no. It's just a simple vertical call spread.
And the training's all in there in the members area. Even if you're new to options, you can still get in this and learn all about it. It is not that complicated, and Geof basically spoon feeds you all the information you need when the trade alert comes out. It tells you exactly what to put, what to buy, what to sell in your brokerage account, and all of that. Another common question was, what are the percentages as far as what percentage of what's the minimum to risk, and then what's the percentage of the risk that to the reward?
Every trade has averaged around 16.88%, almost 17%. I mean, we're at 100% win rate. When you're buying a debit call spread, your risk is what you pay for it, right?
Mhm.
So if you pay, $300 for it, your risk is $300. Now, I mean, we've never had to worry about that. But I mean, I do manage trades. I watch them. I take all the trades and all that good stuff. In fact, I had to give them my account credentials and have them go through all my trades last year to really make what you saw in this presentation today. Every trade was real trade out of my account, and if everybody else took it, they did real well too.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, your risk is what you pay for it, but we've never lost, so we're doing really good. We put in automatic exit prices. We place a limit to get out at a specific price, and that way you don't have to be there when it gets filled or anything like that. I'll show you how to do all of that in class next week, and even with the materials that we have inside of the members area, you'll learn that anyway.
Yeah. So you're sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, well, I'll let you wrap up that question. I saw one up a while ago that I thought was interesting. Maybe you want to answer it here. Maybe you want to wait for the master class for the members, but finish up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so you're targeting your targets vary a little bit, but they're somewhere around 15-20% on each trade, right?
Yes,
All right.
that is
So
correct.
for the people that are trying to figure that out or whatever, and the minimum we saw a couple slides ago was a little over $300 per trade on average. So if you're putting $300 into a trade, you're doing it to make around say $50 to $60, and that your risk is 300, and then you can multiply that out by however many contracts you want to buy. You can always go bigger, but there'll be a minimum on each one that's somewhere around $300, give or take a few bucks. And that's your risk. So it's not like some open-ended thing where you just have unlimited risk, or it's not like a credit spread where you have some fancy calculation to do to figure out your risk. Just whatever you spend to get in it, worst thing it can do is go to zero and you don't get anything back.
That's correct.
All right.
So
Alex.
yeah, okay, a good question. Okay, so maybe this is the secret sauce. Maybe you don't want to answer this right now. Why on a Thursday? Why do we open these trades on a Thursday?
I get that one a lot. Why is it Thursday? Well, let me tell you this. So
It's the only day Geof gets up.
That's right.
He sleeps through most of the week, and it's the only day. Yeah, Geof.
I hibernate the rest of the time. So basically, when we were going through the back test, if you all remember that just a few minutes ago, we went through that back test. Well, when we do back tests, we don't just back test the strategy. We back test what's the best day to enter.
Okay.
And they found that during that back test that Thursday was the best day to enter the trade. Now, why that is, I don't know. I'm just telling you, in the back test, they found that Thursday was the best day to enter. They do that. They'll look at the days. They'll look at the different times of the month. They'll look at all kinds of stuff when they do this back testing. They found that Thursdays were the best time to enter. So therefore, take it with what you will. Thursdays was the best day.
Well, I love that. I love that when data, because like you can look at data and then it doesn't hold up in the real world, right? You look at the data, then you start trading in the real world, and you go 52-0, and you're just like, okay, well the data meets the road, right?
Yep.
So that's what's really cool is that like they did all the back testing, and that's why data is so cool. Is like when you see the data and you start porting it to these real world trades, you say, oh my gosh, like actually that was so congruent with what we saw during the testing period. Man, that's awesome. I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that was fantastic. We went 52-0 last year, And we followed the exact same criteria that we did during the back test, and it has worked out beautifully. So why change it?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And like guys and gals, we talk about metals on Profits Panel every day. I've been trading with Geof for over since going on like 8 months here, just together on the Profit Panel. And I will say we get so many people coming in talking about the gold stream alerts. They love it. I tell you, like Nate said, this is the time to invest in metals. And look at that. I'll tell you, multiple ways to win, because if you want to go out to Costco and buy some big fat gold bars, I'll tell you what makes that easier is that $43,000 you could have made doing these weekly income setups on gold. So that's going to pay for a lot of gold bars.
Yeah. And I saw one question in here. How long are we in the trades? On average, we're in the trades for 9 days on average. The longest day has been 41 days. The shortest is 1. But on average, we're in them for 9 days. So take that with what you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to know the average, but the range also helps when there's such a kind of a wide variety there that,
right.
If once you hit 11 days, if you only tell people 9, they start hitting 11 or 12 and they're like, what the heck's going on? 9's the middle of a larger range that could go out to about 40 days, but it's not typical.
Yeah. So we have an automatic target. That is correct. We set an auto exit that is in the email or in the trade alert that we have. That's in one-click trading, and it's also on the trade tracker. So if you can access either one of those, you'll see all the entries, the prices, everything. Everything's transparent. It's all in there.
Mike,
congrats to all the people who just wrote in and said they're in.
Mike is in, and he made his first trade. Mike is in. He made his first trade. We've only We've only opened. I mean, I don't know. Like it took It took all of 10 minutes for Mike to get in, look at the stuff, and place his trade. We said this is a turnkey thing where it's just like it looks good to you, easy to follow setup. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Mike is living proof that you can just get into this and start making these trades ASAP.
Exactly.
Unless he died because of how easy it was and he was in shock. It's possible he's not living proof anymore. But we assume we hope he's still with us.
He's still on the Zoom, so at least
he's still on the Zoom.
Okay. The computer's still open.
All right. So there was a question. You talk about the alerts. There were a handful of questions about the alerts. So people can get this in. They'll get the alert via text if they put in their cell number in by email, and then if they sign up for Telegram, they'll also get a Telegram message that there's a new alert. So you have all those ways you can get the alerts, but all of the alerts are going to point you to the members area where you'll get the actual information, and that gives Geof plenty of room to give you the full explanation of what you need to do on there. And even further, if you use one of a few different brokers, our members platform lets you like one click. That's why it's called one-click trading. Lets you one click those orders directly over to your broker. You don't even have to enter them in your brokerage account if you use one of the brokers that's compatible with our members site. So it's an added benefit of having those alerts inside our members area. If you use TradeStation, Tasty Trade, or Interactive Broker.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. There were hundreds and hundreds of messages in here. Fidelity is not compatible with our one click as far as doing it as one click, but you can trade this in any broker that lets you do option spreads. You'll have to just flip over to your brokerage account and put in the trade yourself if it's not one of the three that has the one-click compatibility with our members area. So you all can stop asking about specific ones. The only three it works with are Tasty Trade, TradeStation, and Interactive Broker to do the one-click transfer of the order from our members area. But you can use any broker that lets you trade option spreads by just putting the trade in yourself like you would do with any other trade recommendation.
And let me just say, for folks who are wondering about does this work? Look, while we've been on here, CNBC, top of the page, Bitcoin drops below 67,000. The sell-off intensifies and pessimism grows about crypto's function. People are selling crypto. They're going into more robust risk-off assets like gold. Also, Besant just said Trump would decide whether to investigate Fed pick Warsh over his refusal to cut rates. So if you don't think rate cuts are coming, I do think you're wrong. Like, there is going to be a lot of pressure on the Fed to cut rates, and I do believe that those rate cuts are coming. And like Geof said, the minute that starts happening, this thing is going probably has a good likelihood, all right, of just going back up really, really fast, gold, and just solidifying its little trend. So I think this is I think gold's going up, and this is an amazing strategy to trade that.
Yeah. Debbie just asked if there's any way to do this with level 1 permissions. You know, I don't know if you want to take that, Geoff, or you want me to answer that, but
it's not recommended to just go out and buy the calls outright. Showed you several examples of if you did that, you might get hammered. It's better just to do the spread. Plus, you decrease your risk tremendously. If you're doing outright options on gold, they can get very, very expensive. And it's going to cost a lot of money to do that. I would highly recommend that you get level 2 on that, and I can tell you how to kind of get around that and everything like that when we get into class next week.
So do we have a date and time for that class yet or not? I might have missed it.
It's going to be Thursday, and I believe it's going to be at 1 p.m.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. That is
Not
correct.
silly
I believe it's Thursday, 1 p.m., a week from today at 1 p.m.
Okay. All right. And once you get in the program in the members area, once they get that meeting set up in our Zoom account or whatever, they'll put that link in there in the members area. So there'll be a tile there that says like next live class or whatever.
Yeah.
So look in the members area for that. And of course, if you're on Telegram or email or whatever, you'll get notified that way as well. I highly recommend that if you're in any of Geoff's programs, you get Telegram if you don't have it already. It's the best way to stay up to date with everything that's going on with Geoff.
Yep.
Telegram, if you're not familiar, it's just a messaging program, and you can install it on your computer, your tablet, your phone, pretty much any modern device. And it's just a messaging program, but it allows us, unlike a text message, which is limited in number of characters, and we have certain like legal restrictions on what we can put in a text message, whatever. We can put everything we want in a Telegram message. So we're able to give you much more information in Telegram, including charts and diagrams and all that kind of stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
So Telegram is, in my personal opinion, the best way to stay current with everything that's going on with Geoff. It doesn't mean you can't trade this program without it. I just think it's the best way to keep up on everything, not just this program. How many trades could you have on at the same time?
We've never had more than, I think it was 3 trades, but we could have as many as 5. We've never got to that point. My brain was just thinking, well, I won't put any more than 5 on at a time, but we've never gotten there. It just doesn't happen. So
Do they need to set stop losses?
we do not put stops on options. I will never put a stop on an option. I always watch the price of GLD and see what it's doing.
All right. More like mental stops and then kind of figure it out as you go.
That's right.
All right. And then there was a question that kind of flew by. Oh, can we make this put this on multiple payments? So you can split this over multiple credit cards. If you're looking for like a payment plan that spreads it out over like months, no. But if you need to split it up onto like 2 or 3 cards, yes. However, you can't do it. Hey, Geoff, do you have the slideshow? Is that on your control?
I do. Yes.
Okay. Can you go back 1 slide? Just go up. There you go. That gives them the phone number. So there's the phone number there. If you call that number, 904-706-3537, that the phone team can split it up over multiple cards for you. Whether you do the 2-year or the lifetime, they can split it up over multiple cards. We just don't really have the way to do that online. So just call that number and ask them for whatever kind of payment situation you're looking to do, and they'll help you if they possibly can. And of course, that number's in the chat also, but I figured we'd put it on the screen for a minute. All right. I think we covered most of the questions. There were literally hundreds of messages. So if we missed your question and you feel like it hasn't been answered in any way, please post it again, and we'll try and answer it now.
And we do send entry and exit alerts, even though we have an automatic target and everything like that. Whenever I get filled, I send an exit alert. Because I know some people, I've done it. I don't think you're bad for doing it. I forgot to set it GTC and I did a day order and I say, I'll be out to be getting filled on this. And I'll look and I go, oh, well, yeah, it's at Target. And so, but I do send out targets. I mean, when we get filled, so you'll know when to exit the thing as well. You might be out on the road. You might be out doing something. Everybody has doctor's appointments and all kinds of stuff. But yes, we do send those exit alerts.
Bob asked if you know of any catalysts coming down the pipeline for gold.
For right now, I think the biggest catalyst is going to be the new Fed chairman. I think that's going to be the new big thing in gold right now. And I think everybody's kind of looking to that. Of course, the market might not act, too positively to the guy, but I'm sure gold is going to be reacting to it, saying, "Hey, rate cuts coming in, giddy up."
Do you think a lot of people that see Bitcoin plummeting like look for someplace to bail out to and choose gold?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll give you my opinion only. You can hate it, you can love it, I don't care what you say about it. But Bitcoin is nothing. Bitcoin is no bits and bytes and zeros and ones. And that's all it is. There's nothing that backs it up. The only thing that makes that thing move is basically, bid and ask, supply, demand, all that good stuff.
It's a baseball card.
But there's nothing that backs that up. Gold is an asset, been around since time began. Silver is an asset, been around since time began. Heck, corn's an asset, but it's not. At least in the S&P, you got stocks and companies in it, right?
Right.
The U.S. dollar has the U.S. economy behind it. Bitcoin's got nothing.
Yeah, it's a baseball card. I like to say it's a baseball card.
Yeah, and if it dies, it dies. If it goes up, it goes up. That's fine. I've traded iBit and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but as far as trusting in Bitcoin, I don't see how anybody can trust Bitcoin. Right. It's got nothing behind it.
Well, there's a reason we call gold a commodity, right? It has intrinsic value, and
that's right.
That's why the Bitcoin isn't. It's not, again, not to say you can't buy it today and sell it tomorrow for a profit, but it doesn't have intrinsic value.
Oh, what time's the alerts on Thursdays? I will, it all depends on what gold's doing. I'll say that for starters. But I'll usually put them out somewhere between 11 and 2, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah, it's kind of a big window, but it all kind of depends on what gold's doing at the time and how it's moving around and all that good stuff. But I'll put it out between 11 and 2. That way you have more than enough time to get in before market close. It's very rare I go to 2 o'clock.
Somebody asked me that earlier, and I said, I'm going to go with the term midday.
Well, and that's usually I'll do. Usually I'll do it somewhere like around lunchtime is when I do it. And so, and today, of course, I was getting into it just because, well, we're going to be in here, and I didn't want to miss out on getting the thing out because I got to go from here into profit panel. And so I didn't know how much time I was going to have, so I just got it out before we got in here. So it's there waiting for you right now. And I noticed that, I think his name was Robert. I'm going to say that. He got in and just jumped right on it and did wonderful. Got in at a great price. Proud of him. Good job. So
well, you actually have profit panel in like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to grab the screen from you so that that doesn't get messed up. And then I'm going to let you jump here, man, and I'll just stick around and answer whatever other questions I can. This is a fantastic program that's done just literally
phenomenal,
amazingly. It's indescribable how well it's done. So kudos to you. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I'll drop the link for Profit Panel also if people want to join you over there real quick. I'll put that in here as well. So thanks so much for being here and doing this live.
Thank you. Phenomenal.
All right. Sorry if you guys heard my mic slam to the ground. Was not intentional. So I don't know, April, I don't know what you're saying. How do I get inverter thing? I don't know what that means. Best bet for you is probably just to give us a call. Alita Roth is in. It sounds like you got to move some money around to join, which I get that. So no problem. Are there any questions that weren't answered on the webinar that I can answer for you guys? Yeah, we'll take another trade because a lot of times we'll have, maybe one or two on at the same time. So it doesn't, prevent us from taking a trade at all. We will definitely still take the trade if the setup comes. So, oh, good. Glad you joined. But yeah, you can place the trades directly from one click. Talking about the last bonus. Did you join VIP? Okay, well then you're good. I think you get the blueprint when you join VIP. So as long as if you join VIP, you get the blueprint. I'm 99% sure that's what it's kind of talking about there. So 3,500. You talking about the discount? I would say your best bet would be to give us a call, April, and ask because over a webinar, it's going to be kind of hard. I think there's some communication issues going on. It might be better for you to talk to one of our customer service reps and just ask them over the phone rather than trying to communicate here. I'm like the first line of defense. I can answer a lot of questions, very knowledgeable about our products and services, but some things I think customer service is just better at than I am, and that's communication, because this is pretty much a one-way thing, and text over a camera isn't always the best way to communicate. So link is in the chat. I don't see any other questions relating to this, so unless you guys want to see anything else, I think I'll probably wrap this up, call it a day. I'll be back on though for Evening Edge very soon. A couple hours we'll be back, and I'll be live, and we're going to be doing profit pairs with Nathan Tucci. And if you guys don't know what the profit pairs are, I'll give you a little sneak peek. So the profit pairs are basically where we take one stock and we take another stock. So perfect example of that would be Target and Walmart. Or maybe we do two different sectors. We do the communication and the utilities sector. We find a sector that's strong and a sector that's weak, and we go long on the one that's strong and short on the sector that's weak. So a lot of times it's a good way to kind of make money, trading both sides of the market at the same time. And it's put on by Nathan Tucci, who is just an amazing